how to do it off grid.
This is the only way to start a fire up here.
Oh, it's funny.
It can be wet to the bone, but this torch, it does it.
This is our recycled barbecue fire pit. We found it. Weber, yes. It stands up to being abandoned, snowed on, crushed by snow, stepped on by animals, and it still keeps on working. How to get started on your off-grid property. This is how we got started. This driveway was all treed in, tons of brush. So last year we bought this property and we closed the day COVID shut everything down. So we started coming up here in April. Once the snow melted and the road firmed up a little, we could get in. So our first year we cut a path into the property. And so we got in as far as right here, and we brought in gravel, and so to help firm this up, because this area has a lot of wetland in it, so it can be super muggy or boggy, and so we firmed it up. We bought a tractor, as you can see, is coming, and we bought a container to put the tractor in.
Whoa, watch your toe.
So we got this area firmed up so we could pull our RV into here. So we got that done on our first year. And then late in the fall, we started thinking about that we need water. So we got 2 550-gallon water tanks to get started. We haven't used them yet, but we have them when we're ready. We got a simple Harbor Freight that we've had for years. We just never used it. Solar panel system. And it's low wattage, but it's just enough that it keeps our RV batteries charged all the time. And then the other important thing, you might ask, how do we manage our RV, Blackwater and Graywater, all the way out here where there's no services? We don't want to contaminate the ground. So we have this 55-gallon drum that we fill up at home. It has a spigot on the end, and we use it to fill our tank in the RV. And then we do not use the toilet in there. So the water we fill it with, we use it for showers, and we use a safe biodegradable shampoo and soap, and we use it to do dishes, and we do the same thing with a biodegradable soap. And then I did just get this a couple weeks ago at IKEA. I bought an outdoor kitchen. My husband's seen it. This is another fun project we did on our first few months we were here last year. We noticed that there was a natural spring under this area, and so it's spring right now, so the water is pretty close to the surface. But we dug this well by hand, and we put on a pitcher pump, and it's still a new well. It's only maybe 12 feet, 15 feet at the most in the ground before we hit a lot of water, and we couldn't pull up anything without it washing out as we're bringing stuff up. But we get enough water out of it. We dug it in the driest part of the summer. We don't get a whole lot of water, about a gallon an hour in the heart of summer. And right now we get more than we can pump out. But we use it for like cleaning the tractor or having water for our granddaughter to play around in the summer, or just stuff like that. Watering the plants, watering the garden. We do not drink this. Someday we'll have maybe a professionally dug well, or we'll have a rainwater system up that we can drink. But until now, we bring our water with us up here. So. Okay, this is the outhouse that we built last year. And of course, we have never done it before, so we have learned some lessons. Let me show you what we did. So we use a composting toilet. So it's just a 5-gallon bucket sawdust method. All this wood you see in here, we actually took that from the inside of the cabin. This was part of the dining room. We bought cedar boards for the bottom. Thank goodness we did it last year. No way you could afford it now. This cabinet was in the dining room of the cabin, and now it holds the pine chips and toilet paper and all that. And then our plan is this back area will be a shower. And so we have our rod, we have our, again, the pine and cedar going around that. And we sealed all of this with marine waterproofing. However, this is where we made a mistake. I didn't even think to do these boards. So they're all moldy now. So I took some bleach water and sprayed them down, and it's definitely helped. It's killed it. So now we have to go back and scrape it or scrub it or something, and then seal it. And then we'll put another coat of sealant on the inside of this. But we're happy with the fact we went with a clear top because it really helps. I made a chandelier out of some tree limbs, and it even has a little light. So I did this because my son's girlfriend is all about bling. She doesn't camp, so she doesn't like bugs. And so I did this for her so that this outhouse has a little bling for her. So maybe it'll be acceptable. I hope she sees it someday. And so that is our outhouse shower. And we have everything to do the hot water shower. We have the hot water tank, the instant hot water tank, the propane. Like, we have it all. We just have to put it together. And then we are going to collect rainwater off of the back of it. So we have the gutters. We have all of the downspout. We have blue barrels. We have all of that. But we've decided we're going to move this outhouse. And we're going to move it to be closer to the cabin, because right now it's on the other part of the property that we thought we were going to start off with in a completely different area. So that's it for that. We just got our first load of rock delivered for the soon-to-be RV Carport. And the truck almost got stuck. But he did manage to get the rock all the way down there. So this is what we'll be working on this weekend. And he did a good job on not getting stuck.
Looks good.
This will be the site of the RV Carport. This will be stage 2, because the RV where it is was the first place that we prepared to work.
Look at the sulfur well. All that mud fell through.
Oh,
It's filling up.
this is such a stinky well that we discovered.
Yeah, we got to finish filling it.
This looks really good. We're preparing for an RV carport to be placed, so we had some gravel delivered yesterday, and Dwayne is leveling it. We are not professionals, we've never done this before, but we're learning. So, and it's so much fun. So this is the future site of the RV carport. It will be an 18 by 40. We'll put our RV in there. And then we'll be closer to the cabin that we will tear down. And the cabin's in really rough shape. So I can show you around here. And the cabin is surrounded by elderberries. So there was a big giant elderberry bush here that was probably here for years. We took about 50 starts off of it, and they are all 50 are growing on a different site. But this is the old cabin, and it has multiple foundation issues. Oh, it's so gross. There's a lot of reusable wood in here though that we'll be keeping. We'll keep this table and chairs. We've been harvesting wood, using the living room to store it. Big hole in the floor, and this was the bedroom. I've been slowly clearing it out. And I'll show you the upstairs and the loft. It's nasty. So we're hoping to reuse all this wood if we can. There was a chimney that came down from right here and literally sat right there, and then if you look, it sat on that log. There was no wood stove or anything underneath. It was just like this weird wood box with a chimney right there. It's amazing they didn't burn it down. And that's the loft. Here's some of the brick. And the cabin has got big elderberries in the back of it. And so probably, like, there's one that just started to leaf out. There's another one. And so our goal is to catch these in the spring, cut them, and use them as starts away from the cabin, and then we'll eventually get this cabin torn down and rebuild a new one. So, welcome to our journey. This is the front of the old cabin.
Anywho, this is what we do in the morning. I've been up since about 4:30, got the fire going, watched my news, breakfast, started the tractor, and now looks like the sun's about to hit the solar panels. And gravel down there is what I'm moving. And here is the elderberries. Growing good. This one right here, look at these branches. Jeez. big old branches. That is so cool. Huh. But anyway, gotta get to work and move all that gravel down there. Get ready for an RV pad or an RV port. Over and out.
How to do it off
This is
grid.
the only way to start.